Hey everyone, welcome back to On the Fence Movie Reviews. I'm Adrian, and unfortunately Rob is still out of town on business, so I'm going to be reviewing Ford versus Ferrari. So Ford versus Ferrari stars Matt Damon, Christian Bale, and has other well-known actors such as Josh Lucas and John Berthal. And I've got to say, this film takes place in the 60s, and Carroll Shelby is no longer able to race due to some heart problems. So now he's just building cars, and he's teamed up with Ken Miles as a driver. Ken Miles has his own garage, which he's using as a way to support himself. Meanwhile, we have Ford, who is in a bit of a financial rut, so he challenges all of his employees to do something creative and think of something outside of the box that would help them be successful again. In that, John Bernthal is one of his executives and says, we can buy Ferrari because Ferrari represents winning. They've been winning Le Mans for the last 3 years or so. And so he says, why don't we try to buy Ferrari? What happens is Ferrari kind of makes a joke of Ford. And so Ford gets some bad news after Ferrari is bought from underneath him, and so now he's angry and says, you know what, we need to bury Ferrari at Le Mans and get me the best, and so they hire Carroll Shelby, and Ken Miles, and the film takes off from there, and we see the story unfold. One of the things I got to say that I really loved about this film was the chemistry between Matt Damon's character, Carroll Shelby, and Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale. Both characters, they really played off each other very well. Very well. It was a delight to see on screen. They worked really good. One of the things that I also really enjoyed was the racing. It was really intense. It had it was really well shot. I mean, and when you watch it in either like an IMAX or Dolby Cinema or an RPX, you're gonna really feel the roar of the engine, and you're gonna feel like you're right there. And so I would recommend watching it in one of those screens there. So it was really well shot. I guess if there was a negative that I wanted to point out, I guess it would be two things. One is Josh Lucas. Not that he was a bad actor, not that his performance was bad, but I feel like him being a bit of an antagonist. I've seen him play this character before in films before, so I feel like I've seen him do it before. So that kind of, and if you're familiar with his work, it might stick out to you. And then also I think some people might find the film a bit slow. So, but for me, it wasn't. But I think just thinking of the average moviegoer, they might find it a bit slower. So I would say like that first half is a little bit slower, but once it gets to about midway through the film, it really picks up and then just goes. Those are the things that I liked about this film. Another thing which I wanted to point out was that they didn't really try to dumb down the story and try to fill it with a bunch of exposition and, oh, this person is this and that is this, and then, and then even when it came to the technical side, like all the mechanics of the vehicles, they just were like, we need more horsepower. They just were kind of, they didn't explain anything, but I think they respected the intelligence of the audience and just, told the story. And that's what I really loved about it, was they told the story. And I found the story very interesting because I'm, for one, not a huge racing fan. I am not familiar with the history of it. So it played really well, and I found it very fascinating. And, James Mangold, he's a great director. I've got to say, his past several films have been really, really good and really strong. And I think this one has some potential to possibly get some award buzz. I don't know, but it is really, really good. So if you're on the fence about checking out Ford versus Ferrari, I would say get off that fence, go to your local theater, and like I said, try to find it on the biggest screen with the best surround sound system possible. It will amplify your experience that much more. So why don't you comment down below and let us know what you thought of Ford versus Ferrari. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, and remember, we'll catch you on the fence.